Firstly, thanks guys for taking time out in a busy day to join this session. Really appreciate it. Today, I'll be covering a few key topics related to product management. Uh, Starting with how do you break into PM? What is PM? What are the different flavors of product management? What does a good resume look like? And so on and so forth. And I will leave a couple of minutes at the end for question and answering as well. Uh, awesome. Am I audible for everyone? Is it okay? And I'm assuming you can see slide one, which says how to break into product management. Yeah,
Yes.
cool. So, what are we going to cover today? We will look at a little bit about me. Let me share my background. There's a slide dedicated for that. Where do product managers fit in the organization? What are the different types of PMs today? And again, this is not an exhaustive list. This is something that I feel, but there might be various different flavors of PM out there. And we'll talk about it more when we go to that slide. What do product managers manage? We are called PMs, but what do you really manage? And then the key topic of, okay, great, I get it, but tell me, how do I break into PM? Share some tips. So that's where we are here. So I'll have a slide dedicated for that. What are some of the things that we can do to help you move towards product management? What does a good product management resume look like? And next steps. Awesome. So a little bit about me, guys. My name is Venkat. I have about 13 years of product management experience. Currently, I'm a principal PM with GoDaddy. Previous experiences, I worked with Ernst Young, I worked with Salesforce, Levi's. I have an MBA from Haas School of Business. I have a master's from Wright State, Dayton, Ohio. These are some of the coaching areas that I have expertise in: product management, resume building, mock interviews, and B school application help. Awesome. So, with that, let's move on to the next slide. Where do product managers fit in an organization? I really liked the image that we can see here. If you see broadly in an organization, you have UX folks who are responsible for user experience. What should we show to the customers? How do they interact with the button? What should the checkout experience be like? Everything comes under their purview. You have technology, which is a foundation of helping us build any feature or application or platform. And you have the business who owns the P&L, business who comes up with, hey, these are my goals. I have a 75% growth goal, etc. You are the epicenter as a product manager of all these three key functionalities. And what makes a good PM? A good PM must be experienced in at least one of these. You either have a solid business background, design background, or a technology background. You're passionate about all the three areas and conversant with practitioners and all. So if you get into a room with a UX lead or a business lead, you know what to tell them. What is the most impactful 30-minute conversation you can have with them? And that's a skill you build as a product manager. So you're right at the epicenter in the intersection of UX, tech, and business. At a very high level, product managers can be bucketed into three categories. And again, as I said, there might be multiple, but at a very high level, I would bucket them into three categories. You have a platform PM, you have an application PM, and you have feature PMs. And what are these? I have a slide dedicated for each of these three areas. So let's jump in and understand, what do platform PMs really do? Awesome. So you might have heard this concept of platform product managers in the organization. Their focus is building and managing the infrastructure and tools that other teams or developers can rely on and create end user experiences. That's their main goal and focus of a platform PM. And their primary responsibilities are designing scalable and reliable platforms which multiple folks in the organization can build their applications on, prioritize platform features, which can be APIs to connect to your platform. It can be developer tools. Manage the relationship with technical stakeholders because you work a lot with engineering folks when it comes to platform PM development. You have third party developers, external partners, but you build a platform because it has to align with the overall company strategy. The company's technology and product strategy has to align with why you're building the platform. So that's one of your other key responsibilities. And the major challenge of building a platform is how do you balance a long term investment that you need to keeping the platform stable versus short term feature requests. And this happens a lot of times in the world of platform PMs. People might come in with some bespoke request. Hey, I would like for you to add this to the platform. How do you go ahead and balance that with the long term investment of keeping the platform stable? Who are some of the end users who use your platform? You have internal teams, developers, other product managers of BUs who would come into your platform. You have external partners who would go ahead and build on top of your platform. And how do you measure success for a platform? You have adoption rate, you have stability, you have reliability, developer satisfaction, scalability, and extensibility. These are some of the metrics that a platform PM focuses on. A great example of a platform is the Salesforce Customer 360 product. So this is a platform which helps you gather customer data and generate insights out of it. So they enable organizations to use Customer 360 as a platform. So any customer who comes to your website, you can tap into that information of what do they do and extract insights from that customer information. So classic example of a platform is a Salesforce Customer 360. Awesome. Moving on, the next genre of PM are the application PMs. And these are the focus area is managing end user facing products. And they build this on top of a platform. They're designed to solve specific user problems or specific use cases. Their responsibilities are strikingly different than a platform PMs, understandably so. You're responsible for defining the vision, strategy, and roadmap. You conduct user research, you understand their needs, you translate that, you understand pain points, and translate that into application features. And then you collaborate with design, engineering, marketing, and then you track product adoption and engagement, and you define those key metrics. So you are the epicenter of A, identifying the pain points, building product features, and defining metric. Who are your end users? They can be direct consumers who interact with your application, and these are often non-technical users. You take your phone and you download an application that's an app. So you are the end user who's using an application. Your metric that you would define as an application PM is user engagement, satisfaction, retention, revenue, active users, conversion rates, etc. A classic example of an application is Salesforce Sales Cloud. Essentially, this is a B2B product. But what it enables you as an organization to do is take the application and start using that for selling. It's a lead generating platform. You can target sale your potential customers. That's what application PMs do. They build such applications. Awesome. And the third flavor, they are the feature PMs. And the feature PMs, they manage and optimize specific features or components within the application. So you have an application which has multiple features. So you are a feature PM, you focus on a specific feature within the application. What are some of the responsibilities? You define the scope, requirements, success metric. You collaborate closely with the application PM to make sure that your vision aligns with the vision of the application. You run A B tests. Hey, I would like to launch a red button versus blue. I want to check out experience to be A versus B. You gather user feedback, you reiterate, you iterate on them, and you focus on continuous improvements. Similar to application PMs, the feature PMs end users are typically direct consumers. And some of the metric are click through rates, frequency, customer satisfaction, conversion rate, etc. A classic example is Salesforce Sales Cloud has multiple sub features within it. So, an opportunity scoring, you find a new opportunity, a lead, you score them. Hey, I feel this lead would convert, so I'm going to give them a score of 90 out of 100. That is a feature that's available within the application called Salesforce Sales Cloud, which is built on top of the platform called Salesforce CRM. Cool. So these are the three flavors of product management and what their focus areas would be. Awesome. Moving on. We call them product managers, but what do they really manage? These are some things that product managers are responsible for managing. You manage the vision, you manage the roadmap of your product, you're responsible for execution, delivering the vision, tracking success, defining metric. Cross functional collaboration goes back to the diagram I shared. You're the epicenter of business, tech, and UX. If you are a platform PM, you manage developer experience and adoption. Not all of them do it, that's why it's optional. You define the metric, you monitor the performance, and you manage stakeholder expectation and communication. It's a beast. There are a lot of things that go behind what a product manager does. But this is what you end up managing if you're a PM. This list is of course not exhaustive. There are many other things which you do or you don't from this. But it gives you a flavor, right? Now that you've seen what product managers do, let's tap into how do you break into product management. I have categorized it into 6 areas. And I feel if you start focusing on these, you are in the right direction. First one is skill building. Great, I understand the three flavors. How do I go about it? So this is where you start thinking about data analysis, strategic thinking. You read some. There's a great book called Good Strategy, Bad Strategy. Read that. Figure out how companies strategically launch products. Data analysis is key because every idea you have should be backed with data. So get your hands dirty with data. Take some courses available online. Hands on experience. If you are working right now in an organization, great opportunity for you to work on projects with cross functional teams. Do some pro bono work. There are organizations like Taproot who always look for resources to help them out with projects. Shadow a PM. Reach out to someone in your organization and say, hey, I would like to devote 20% of my time. Of course, after talking to your boss. Internally transition into a PM role. Associate PM, if that matters. And startups are a great place to start your journey. They're always looking for talent. Inception, they are incubators, there's fresh ideas, they're always looking for talent. So that's a great place to start as well. Resume building. So you have a lot of softwares there which help you. But again, your focus area can be marketing. It can be you are an IT and engineering background. You are an analyst. But these three are some of the relevant experiences that can be transferable into a product manager. So marketing background, software background, business analysis background, you have a little bit of an upper hand. But again, other backgrounds, it's not impossible to break into PM at all. Prepare. Take a lot of mock interviews, case studies, design thinking helps you. There are multiple organizations out there who do mock interviews, including Leyland. Networking. Go to meetups, sign up for product schools, PM communities, and constantly upskill. That's the last point. Take certifications. There's an awesome book called Cracking the PM Interview. Wealth of information you'll find out there. To start your journey, look at these things, figure out what fits in your lifestyle, and take that first step. That'll be my advice. Awesome. And then the last slide here, which is last but one, is what does a good PM resume look like? And what I like about this framework, it's a STAR framework, is you look at a situation, you look at the task. What was the task that the situation demanded? What is the action you took to address that? And what is the result? It's called a STAR framework. I have an example there as well. The situation is facing declining user engagement on key platform feature, right? You're seeing a declining engagement in the platform you launched. The task is leading a cross-functional team to identify the root cause. You want to identify what is causing that decline. The action, you conduct user research, you do A/B tests, and implement targeted feature updates to address that problem. And the result, you achieved a 25% increase in user engagement. So if your resume is broken down into there was a situation, what did I do to address it? What is the impact I brought in? That's all a good resume looks like for a PM. It's all about outcome, not output. What is the outcome you drove? So you led a cross functional team to address declining user engagement by conducting user research, A/B testing, and implementing targeted feature updates, which resulted in 25% engagement increase within the first month. So I broke down all these four into this one sentence. It is a wordy sentence, yes, but again, you have tools like ChatGPT which can reduce this to even a small sentence. Take advantage of technology. Awesome. And the last slide here, I'll keep this on and I would like to open it up for questions. Let's talk. Set up an intro call. I have a QR code there. If you scan it, it'll directly take you to my coaching page. Set up a 15-minute intro call. I would love to hear more about you. What is your area? What's your focus? Areas where I can help: resume building, mock interviews, design thinking, product management coaching, B school applications. Uh, yeah. So I would encourage each of you to do that and take the next step. I would pause here. I would like to open it up for questions. I do see a question. What transferable skills on the resume are valuable for someone with no product experience who wants to transition to product management? This is a great question. If you do have marketing, if you are in marketing, if you are in design, UX, if you are in analysis or sales, there are a bunch of skills that are transferable which you can directly push to PM. For example, stakeholder management, uh, segmentation, targeting audiences based on who do you want to sell to. Strategy. If you are in sales, you're already figuring out a good strategy to land a particular lead and convert them into a sale. If you are in technology background, you have built products. You have lent your hand in building products. What is the outcome that the product brought into the organization? You can tweak the technology story to say, hey, I did this because it solved this problem. If you are in UX, you're already doing design thinking. You're figuring out what is the customer journey. Why am I building a button and red color and not blue? Why is it above the fold? Why is it not below the fold? Etc. So you have multiple skills that you can start honing in and highlighting in your resume that will help you get into product management. Praveen, no, MBA is not needed for cracking into PM at all. Uh, MBA is a nice to have, it is not a must have. It broadens your perspective and how do you think about things. It helps you network, it helps you talk to right folks, but it's not a must have to crack and get into PM. Any other questions? And you can come off camera as well if you want to, and we can have an open conversation. Cool. Awesome. Okay, I'll still be here if you have any questions. Okay, how technical do you have to be to become a good PM? Do you need a CS degree? No, Tony. Uh, it depends on what kind of PM do you want to be. For example, if you are a platform PM, you're building like a whole platform on which developers will start building experiences. Having a good technical background there will be helpful. If you are a feature PM who's more responsible of, hey, I want to launch a new app, I want to launch an ability for a consumer to upload a reel, you you really don't need a technical background. Where a technical background helps is you get into a room with engineering, give them the idea, you can brainstorm with the architect. Okay, this is how much time you need to build this. All right, you can challenge them, right? So those are transferable skills if you have a CS background. Again, it's not a must have at all. So you can succeed tremendously even without a CS degree. Cool. If I come from a finance background, what would be the best approach to translate transferable skills? Awesome. Uh, this is what I would say. If you come from finance background, you can start looking at strategic thinking. You can start looking at doing some pro bono work. You can start looking at meeting and taking some mock interviews. Interview doesn't necessarily have to be to get to a job. You can take interviews to just get the hang of what kind of questions do they ask out there, so that it also helps you prepare, helps you read those right books. Finance background is tremendously helpful in building a business model. So this is, I'll give you a real life story, right? I was a PM at Levi's and I was building a recommendation engine where you show product A and B together to the customers. But to prove the worthiness of that product, I had to create a financial model. The model was, today, this is the traffic, this is the conversion. If I build a recommendation system, I'm going to impact one of these two metric. What is the projected growth that Levi's will have over the next 3 to 5 years? What is the NPV, net present value of that growth? How much am I asking to invest? So if you have a finance background, all these you can do in the back of your hand. So you just have to work on the other skill sets, Isaac. Hopefully that helps. Cool. Transitioning from software engineering to PM, what are key skills you focus on? I am a real life story of who transitioned from software engineer to PM. I did that 13 years ago. Uh, what I would say is, Praveen, you shadow. I think this works perfect for you. You start shadowing a PM, you do some internal transition, you figure out, you be curious, you figure out the why am I doing it rather than what am I doing. Figure more on the outcomes. As a software engineer, you have built a lot of software products, and each of these products have an impact. The story there is solid. I built X because of Y. It goes completely with the star framework. Transferable skills there is, you need to start working a little bit on stakeholder management. You need to figure out, as a PM, and going back to this, the Venn diagram, right? As a PM, there are certain areas which you need to focus on. You're probably good at engineering, but you need to understand what marketers do. You got to work with them to ship your product. Adoption is key. You need to understand what UX do, design thinking. So all these have to be built on, but from an engineering perspective, I already told you what are some of the skills you can use. Cool. If someone doesn't have an experience in product UX, business, or software, but have transferable skills from tech support, should they apply for junior PM or senior positions? It depends on which organization you're looking at. I would say startups. If you're applying for startups, usually a flat hierarchy doesn't matter. You enter as a level entry PM. You use your skills, which is in the tech support, because you understand technology. You understand how you solve customer problems. Use that to your benefit. Senior, getting into senior position depends again on the organization. How open are they? What I would say is never let positions constrain or put a barrier around what you want to do. Just go there, explore positions, talk to folks, network. and you never know what door opens up for you. Sure. Good strategy, bad strategy. That's a nice book. Pro bono organization, Taproot. Taproot. PM certifications, there are plenty. I know UC Berkeley offers a certification, Stanford offers one, MIT offers one. You have specific PM certifications as well. Like you have PM certificates for AI, ML. Right now, it's pretty hot. There are a bunch of universities which do that. So I would start there, Praveen. Great questions. What are the great results to find startups looking for PMs? There are multiple incubator websites. You can actually go ahead and look for startup jobs. Just do a Google search, Isaac. You'll see a lot of portals where only startups come and look for talent. Uh, I would start there. That's a great place to start for startups. Yep. Great questions. I'm liking this. Cool. Any other questions? I can stop sharing as well if anyone wants to come off camera. Let's. Awesome. How do we know if product management is right for us? Uh, Simple question. I will ask a counter question. If you are curious on the why rather than what, on the outcome, how is it going to change people's lives? Product management is for you. Product managers, the key trait is being curious. I have always wondered why am I doing this rather than what am I doing. So if that is your inert nature, product management is the place for you. What makes product management good versus outstanding? I love your questions. I feel as a product manager, and again, right, you learn each and every day. An outstanding PM begins with a solid story of why am I doing this. You need to be empathetic to folks. You need to go and understand customers' problems. You need to come up with solutions of why do you want to address those problems. The solution has to be broken down into a minimum viable product with least investment, because you do not want engineering to invest a lot of time before vetting your idea. You come up with an MVP, you launch it, you do A B testing, you see if there is a positive impact, and then you scale it. All these will make an outstanding PM. And these are skills you build as you tap into that product management journey. Could you show an example of a good resume? I can, Praveen. There are multiple available on the internet as well. I can show you mine as well. But let's see if you can set up an intro call. I'm more than happy to share, Praveen, my resume with you, and also I'll share other examples. In future, are there any chances that a PM role might be replaced with these LLM AI? I don't think so. Every new technology always comes up as a threat to begin with. But the beauty is, how do you use that technology to your benefit? LLMs, Gen AIs, yes, it is there not to replace, but to make your life easy. If today you're spending 70% of your time doing some work, that 70% would be replaced by Gen AI. And you, as a product manager, was doing 30% work, would now expand that 30 to 100. So that is how I look at any new technology. You start using that to your benefit. So I would not consider LLMs and Gen AIs as threats, but more like a companion to increase productivity. What are some effective ways to stand out when applying for early career product management roles? Uh, I would say, when you're joining a new PM position, the initial few weeks is the most crucial and critical. That is when you start creating an impression, you build that confidence. I would say if you have to stand out as a PM during your early days, there is a safe period where no one is judging you. Ask a number of questions, be curious, understand why are we doing this. Ask those questions on what is the outcome we are driving, what is the objective, or what is the key result. There are ways to do this, Divya. There's a journey, and I can explain that when we meet. But yes, certainly help there. Are fresh grads at an advantage when it comes to junior PM roles? I have 5+ experience, but finding it hard to shift careers, break into product management. I don't think fresh grads have an advantage when it comes to junior PM roles at all. If you are willing to take one step back to take two steps forward, I would say certainly go ahead and do that. Put your ego aside. Say, hey, I'm okay taking an associate PM role. I want to transition. I'm okay shadowing someone. That's what I did. I was a software engineer at PayPal. I started shadowing someone. I took a step back in my career. I rejoined as a PM. I was already a senior engineer there. Doesn't matter. It's basically you see the right opportunity, you think that is the right move for you, and you do that. That's how I'll approach this. Cool. Again, let me share my screen. Please look at setting up some time. I would love to hear your stories. I think chat takes us from A to B, but I would like to go from A to Z. So find some time. Let's chat. Happy to help. And let's take it from there. I hope this session was helpful, guys. I will stop sharing in 30 seconds and hopefully chat with some of you folks in future. No, absolutely. It was a pleasure chatting with you guys. Sure. No worries. Thank you so much. Thank you. Awesome. Cool. I will stop sharing, guys. Thank you again. And I hope to meet you guys. If not, all the very best in your career, respective career paths. Stay confident, stay curious, and you will get what you want. Thank you. Take care. Bye, guys.
Thank you.